Have you heard about Yiquan? It's a kind of traditional Chinese kongfu. Talking about its origin, it can be traced back to thousands of years ago and as mysterious as you can imagine. It merged with the Chinese civilization. Kungfu has a long history and has been strongly influenced by the Chinese culture. It focuses on the harmonious between man and nature, in and out, physical and mental, and assimilated the essence of the thousand-year-old Chinese culture, especially the spirits of Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, which is considered as the discipline of every kind of kungfu. As a combination of Chinese ancient philosophy, medical science, and aesthetics, kungfu can be regarded as a unique physical exercise with national traits. In Han Dynasty, a famous physician, Hua Tuo, created a series of physical exercise called the Five Mimic Frolics, patterned upon the movements of tiger, deer, bear, ape, and bird. As it was quite effective in health preservation, it had been widely accepted in China for thousands of years. It is believed in China that kungfu comes from Shaolin Temple. Legend refers that in Nan Dynasty, a famous monk called Da Mo came to China to preach and settled down in Shaolin. In his spare time, he worked out a special method of physical exercise embodied the skills of animal and the spirits of religions. He named the method Yiquan, or Xin Yiquan. It is said that in order to sort out the internal essence of the exercise, Da Mo sits in front of a wall continuously for 9 years, and his image was carved into the wall. There was an estimation about him in later ages. There is nothing before him, but lots left behind. He filled the paper with knowledge, but drained the lake out. Since then, Shaolin Temple became the origin of kungfu. Later, in Song Dynasty, a well-known general Yue Fei improved the content of Da Mo's creation. And in Ming and Qing Dynasty, when kungfu became prosperous, Ji Jike, a master in Shanxi province, made up a new type of Yiquan called Xing Yiquan. But when and who exactly created Yiquan still remained a mystery. With the time flies, many kungfu masters occurred in China, and until the beginning of the 20th century, with the process of social reform, the kungfu world performed its changes as well. In Hebei province, there was a boy called Wang Xiangzhai. Because of his poor health condition, he practiced Xing Yiquan carefully with the master Guo Yunshen. Due to his hard work, he not only grasped the essence of Mr. Guo's study, but also did plenty of researches on the other types of Chinese kungfu. He thought that every kungfu school had its advantages, so afterwards he traveled around the country, learned every type of kungfu everywhere in China, abandoned the fixed series of skills and moves established hundreds of years ago, and created Yiquan. It was a milestone of kungfu history in China. Modern Yiquan master Lin Zhaolun tells us, Yiquan was established around 1920s, and it is a time of social reform and new culture movement. Its creator, Mr. Wang Xiangzhai, established Yiquan on the basis of the advantages of other types of kungfu. As Mr. Wang described Yiquan himself, this is science, not skills, and this is the spirit of Yiquan. It is not a simple skill, not just several movements. It's a type of science and culture, a combination of the essence of Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, and also a combination of the advantages of other types of kungfu, such as Shaolin and Taiji. Mr. Wang Xiangzhai had many students, who were different in skills and features. Among them, Mr. Tao Zhongxun was Mr. Wang's favorite. He was named Jixiang and became the second generation of Yiquan masters. In the 1940s, Mr. Wang and Mr. Yao put Yiquan to its peak. Master Lin Zhaolun says, Yi means the highly spiritual condition in Kung Fu, and Yiquan focuses on this condition. And late in 1940s, it was gradually accepted. As it is also a combination of many types of Kung Fu. Once in Beijing, it was called 大成拳, means a culmination of different schools in Kung Fu. Until 1980s, Mr. Yao Zhongxun insisted that it should be named Yiquan, so it changed back into his original name. Although Yiquan has a long history, do you know how it develops in this modern world today and how it performs? The third generation of Yiquan masters, Mr. Lin Zhaolun, came from Beijing. He practiced Kung Fu at his early years, grasped the skills of many types of Kung Fu such as Shaolin, Xingyi, Ba Gua the 8 trigram, and Taiji. Later on, he learned Yiquan with Mr. Yao Zhongxun and Mr. Yang Demao. Now, let's enjoy the beauty of Yiquan. Look, he's now imitating the sea waves, the dragons, the snakes, the cranes, and the tigers. Those imitations combined man and nature and put everything in the world as a whole. When facing the enemies, Yiquan is effective as well. Mr. Lin has practiced Yiquan for years and trained many successors. He also communicates with Kung Fu devotees in Hong Kong, Japan, East Asia, and many other districts to develop and popularize Yiquan. Master Lin Zhaolun says, It is my obligation to make contribution to the traditional Chinese culture, and Yiquan means everything in my life. Encouraging the national cultural heritage, expanding the essence of Kung Fu, and enhancing the national spirit, Yiquan will become a great treasure of the world.